Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, at your service. Or is it Bandana Man? Look at this, I've got my Rambo bandana on. What does that tell you? Well, what do you think? Look at the title of the video. I have just seen Rambo, Last Blood. Yes. The thing I've been touting for fucking ages, it seems. Yeah, I saw the first showing in the UK this morning at 10:40. I met my mate Dave the Blade. He was there with his M65 combat jacket on, while I was sporting the Jade Buddha and the black, combat vest and the bandana of yore. And we sat there and we watched the short, sharp shock of Rambo: Last Blood. Folks, I loved it. I know reviews have come out. The embargo got lifted overnight because they knew that the first worldwide showing to the public was this morning. So obviously they lifted the embargo, so all the ones who'd seen it in America and wherever else in the previews and premieres could give their verdict. And although I didn't look at any of them, I got an overview and they went favourable. But some were great, some were the majority seemed to be bad. And Dave said to me it's getting poor reviews. But we didn't care. We're diehards. Rambo. This is Rambo and he can't go wrong with us. In Stallone, we trust. And I'm going to strive to be spoiler free here. Basically, I loved it. But I can understand why people are going to say, well, this is not a Rambo film. This is not Rambo. He's not going to war. It's a personal thing. It's called Last Blood. It's based off First Blood, where it's a personal thing. He's on the run, on his home turf, his home country. So now he's on his home country again, but a personal grievance will afflict him. Because now we enter the world that John Rambo entered when he, after the previous movie, 2010's Rambo, or John Rambo as is known in some versions, goes to Burma. Well, he's in Burma and he fights the oppressive Burmese tyranny, and destroys thousands in a hail of CG gore. Well, this film goes much more intimate. He's on a ranch. He's gone back home. Clearly, old Pops is dead, and he's working his horses. He's a horse whisperer. But you see Stallone doing his equestrian skills, trotting a horse, wearing denims. Not the horse wearing denims. He's wearing denims and a Stetson, and he's got leather chaps on. That's not what you expected to see in a Rambo film, I'll admit. But he clearly has inherited a family. He's met somebody. In the 10 years he's been back home, which is what we're getting from this. The 10 years he's been back there, he's made friends, and he's inherited it. And basically, she sees him as Uncle John. It's Gabrielle, young Gabrielle. But her father is a bad man, and her father has basically, after the mother died of cancer, he has fucked himself off to south of the border, down Mexico way, and ain't a good man. But Gabrielle wants to find him. And, against all the advice that Rambo gives her, and I'm not sure who the Mexican woman is, because this is not very clear when it comes to who's who at first. And the film is a great big build-up as to, who's who and what's happening. So it takes a while. It just puts you in there, this cozy ranch environment of Rambo, this older Mexican woman, and Gabrielle, who should go off to college and university and all that kind of stuff, and he's even making her a knife, it's a pen knife, and she goes, but Uncle John, no one writes letters anymore, it's a letter opener, it's a letter opener. She goes, no one writes letters anymore, and he's like, and he, in his ranch, importantly, right in the first few scenes, you can see the complex of tunnels he's built underneath his land, underneath the ranch. Again, harking back to Vietnam, where the tunnel rats had to go in there, special forces had to go in to the tunnels, the complex tunnels that the NVA and the VC had built, immense networks of tunnels. So it harkens back to that, where he can obviously put in booby traps and dead ends and stuff like, and he can really, that's his domain. And he's clearly chiseled it all out with his bare hands, because he's awaiting one final battle, because she says to him like at one stage like, but you're over all that now, because he's saying it by her father. Your father isn't a good man. In fact, he's a bad man. Well, some people can change, because she must have been his dad. Some people can change. He said, no, people like that don't change. And she goes, you changed. And he goes like, I didn't change. I just got a lid on it, And he's just keeping control of the demon inside him. And we do learn snippets more about him, about leaving home at 17. The opening sort of tracking shots when you've come into the ranch tracks. Well, it's not the ranch. In fact, it's actually down in the tunnels. He's got all those photos of the younger Stallone with a Green Beret on. All his mates from his teams and all that, like high school pictures, and it's and all the weaponry and his awards and medals, and a huge arsenal of weapons as well, meaning that clearly he has not left the old time behind. The old beastie boy that's still there, with a vengeance, just waiting to come out again. And but you can see he's loving, this new life, this new older lifestyle. He's got his horses, he's happy. And he's getting served great big breakfast by this Mexican woman. I really don't know what that relationship is. I may have missed something there. But Gabrielle is not his daughter, nor is she his genuine niece. It's not the case. He's met this family and he's adopted them. And then her father has become a bad lad and gone down south of the border. But she wants to go and find him. I think it's her sister, or maybe a half-sister, who was given the information, and she has to go down there and go, against everyone's advice, I'm going to go and find my dad. I need to get this cleared away. Cue some very sensitive scenes of this young girl crying, and but I still love you, Uncle John, and like and John's going, don't go, I can't control things down there, and it's. But she goes. And I thought, of course, things go very, very awry. Things go tits up, a la Taken, because she is taken. The whole thing with her dad is a fucking ruse, and she does meet her dad, but her dad doesn't care the shit about her. And she meets a bad crowd, and then she's thrust into, prostitution and a really terrible, terrible environment. And of course, Rambo gets word of this, goes down there. Things don't go up. He wants to get his adopted, daughter, niece back, but things don't go according to plan. And Rambo will get a damn good kicking, and a few marks to prove that he shouldn't have come where he shouldn't have been. And but then this whole thing leads up to, I'm gonna go and get her. I'm gonna get her back, and I'm going to bring you guys back to my battlefield, my homestead. I've got all the traps for you. So cute, a huge final act of huge revenge, and it does deliver the goods. The previous Rambo movie broke the boundaries of gore and violence. It really exceeded everything you'd seen before in the previous Rambo movie, and welters of gore. And a savagery and barbarity which you had not witnessed, and this seeks to go beyond that. Does it succeed? I don't know. It's very emotive. I've got a daughter, and my mate Dave, he's got 2 daughters, and so the things that happen in this movie do strike a chord with you, and it does make you feel, fucking hell, yes, we've got to get these bastards back for what they do. And what they do is nasty. The villains are incredibly horrible in this, but they're meant to be. It's got to drive you to a point where you just want to see Rambo commit, ultra blood-curdling acts of unparalleled violence against them. And he does some stuff. Oh my God! When I come to the spoiler rife review, I'll talk about the bone damage that he does. Oh my God! The bone damage interrogation. Gerard Butler in the first 2 Has Fallen movies, Olympus Has Fallen, and London Has Fallen, does some. He teases bad guys. He stabs them. He does all sorts, and he taunts them. Well, Rambo has a phase of doing that as well. And it's great to get information. He will do the. He's gone beyond what Gerard Butler would do. Oh dear! If you're squeamish, this is the thing. If you're squeamish, could you do that to someone else? I'm not sure I could. But all these guys warrant what happens to them. And visually, the film is splendid. Dialogue-wise, Stallone is definitely giving a real good performance here. He's not just running and just grunting and like retreating from explosions and stabbing people to bits. It isn't just that. You've got a hell of a long build-up in a short movie, so bear that in mind. This film's on for like 89 minutes, so just shy of 90 minutes. And the credits, by the way, are great. I'll say that. The credits, if you're a Rambo fan, you stick around for those credits, because that alone is probably worth it. But the film itself is 2 thumbs up from me. I loved it. This is the kind of thing where, 10, 15, 20 years ago, Steven Seagal was making he's wearing an overcoat and he'll just do, from the body upwards, basically headshots, and his fists will come out like that because the guy is so fat he can't move anymore. Too many pork pies, and this is the thing about the action heroes of the 80s. Well, there's only a couple of them that can still do it. And Stallone, okay, Arnie, yes, he's got Dark Fate coming out. Dark Fate, by the way, looks like a pile of shit. I have discussed it before, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm out. He looks good, but the film looks pants. Seriously, pants. But these 2 guys are still working and still working out and doing the good stuff. Arnie can look great. He's looked terrible, but he can look great. He's proved it. The guy can still do Conan. King Conan. We still live for King Conan. But Stallone, fuck me. And he's old. I think he's actually older than Arnie. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I've had 1 or 2 of these in celebration of Last Blood. Last Blood and 4th Whiskey. But Stallone looks the part. Stallone can still do. Okay, his hair is shorn down. He's wearing denims to begin with, but he does wear his M65 combat jacket from First Blood. And what you see at the end of Rambo 3, when he drives off in the Jeep, and Troutman's going, "You know what, John? I think we're getting slow." And Rambo goes "Yeah, but just a little bit." Fucking shit line, but what the hell? And Rambo's wearing the M65, and that was a nice little payoff. Of course, now we've gone what they expect to be full circle, and should I say this? Should I not? There were rumours about Rambo getting killed off in this one. This would be literally not last blood, but his last stand. Look, the guy wants to do more Cobra. Believe it or not, he wants to do more Tango and Cash. Kurt Russell's still a bit on the fence about that one. But come on, King Kurt, fucking hell, come on, do it. So he's trying to bring back to life all these old characters, and half of me despises that in other people. But with Stallone, I give him a pass because I love the guy. I genuinely love the guy. And he gives it his all. Look at Expendables. He broke his neck making Expendables 1. His back's gone, everything's gone. Oh, and you do see a bit like in Angels Fallen, Gerard Butler's, Secret Service hero, Mike Banning, is popping painkillers all the time. And Rambo is definitely popping painkillers. But, there's understandably, he's defeated Vietnam, he's defeated Afghanistan, he's defeated Russia. Give him his aches and pains. He's gonna have some, isn't he? Weaponry, the new knife, Dietmar Pohl's knife, the Heartstopper. It's glorious. It's not seen much. I was surprised, being a knife collector myself and having all the Rambo blades. I was a bit surprised at its short sort of airtime in the movie. But it is great. It does get referenced as well. But the bow and arrow, which heavily features in the trailers. No, it's not used often at all. It's only used very briefly, but to good effect, I'll give it that. His booby traps is the thing. This is Home Alone a la Rambo, and his home defense, his booby traps are just fucking awesome. But you've got like Rocky and many other movies, the montage. You've got the montage of the preparations, for defense. I'm gonna get my weapons together, I'm gonna tool them. And I always find it amusing that, especially in this film, because he knows that they're coming, and there's two separate sequences of him doing a montage of preparation, but he's got to do something to make them come to his battleground. But he goes back again. He's still fashioning weapons and booby traps and making these little things. Ain't saying what they are. But what if they turned up while he was still doing it? He'd be like, oh fucking hell, can you come back tomorrow? I'm not finished yet, And it'd be funny to see that. How quickly he'd react to that. But so visually, the film is splendid. Cinematography is gorgeous. The new sort of setting, the new location, no jungles, no forests. You've got the horrific, and this is definitely a Trump, movie which Trump will get behind because it's so anti-Mexican. It's unreal. It's just Mexicans. The minute Gabrielle goes south of the border to try and find her dad, it's ultra sleazeville straight away. There's tattooed up and down the arms and the face, fucking like these thugs swigging bottles of tequila on the street like that, and then just staring, eyeballing it. What they're gonna do to you later, and the thing is, that's what they will do to her later. But it's just, it is not painting a rosy picture of, Mexico. Then again, can you paint a rosy picture of Mexico? Hey, So, folks, this has been non-spoiler, and I've done really well, especially with whiskey down my neck, and my gob goes off like that, and I get all excited. But I've done pretty well, not giving too much away. Basically, if you're a Rambo fan, go see it, for definite. I know out there are Rambo fans who are not enjoying this because they're saying, well, it's not a Rambo film. You've got character, you've got heart. You've actually literally got heart in this. But the point is, it's an evolution of that character. He's not at war anymore. Trautman is not. I will say, in previous videos I've waxed lyrical about him. Can Colonel Trautman come back in at least a flashback or a voiceover, or you see Stallone at his grave in Arlington? No. There's, apart from that opening shot and a few lines of dialogue alluding to his previous lifestyle, Trautman is not mentioned at all. And in a way, I'm a bit disappointed by that. I think it should have. If you're capping it off, first blood to last blood, you need to have had that little transition there. So I'm gonna knock points off for that. Oh, and as if Dave was sitting there, Dave the Blade was sitting there right now, he'd remind me that thing you complained about while the film was on. Rambo will waste shots, putting bullets and blowing heads off people who are already about to die. They're impaled on spikes, they're gutted, they're skewered, and he was still blow their heads off. Well, you're wasting ammunition there, Rambo, mate. And I know you're on a vengeance spree, and it's rage, pure fucking rage for what's happened. But you're a trained man, and you wouldn't do that. You would not do that. So, but I'm nitpicking. It does make for some explosively nasty gore, which does. If you're sitting there, you will be going like, ooh, oh Jesus, and like, oh yes. You will be doing it. Me and Dave did. I walked in. I got there before Dave, and there were two blokes already in the flicks when I got there, and I rocked up in me kilt, me combat vest, and me bandana, and concealed weapon. No. That's under the kilt. And there was two guys sitting there. They went together, and I walked over. I was sitting 2 rows in front of them, and I went, "Come on, guys, Rambo! Don't push me!" and like expecting some kind of like yay, and like one guy looked up and he went, yeah, yeah. Another guy, he went, smiled at me and put his head back down to his phone, and I thought, oh shit, I'm that guy. I am that guy that everyone dreads coming into the cinema. But I'll be honest, no, because Dave was next to me, like I was a bit more reserved than I can be. So, but I'll be honest, mate. Big build up to a short climax, guys. You know what I'm talking about there, or ladies, you know what I'm talking about there. But I still love it. I think it's a great movie. I think it deserves an extra, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of action, not of, we've got enough character, enough dialogue, enough pathos, and enough, Stallone is definitely giving a great performance in what is just meant to be an action revenge thriller. That's all it is, which he's done a gazillion times before, but he still puts, because it's his character, and he knows how this character would react, and I felt it. I definitely felt some emotions during it, which got to be good. The only emotions I got in Rambo 3 were like just kill him, and in Rambo, well, the last one, previous one, sorry, the one in Burma, just fucking kill everybody, don't stop shooting, spill more intestines. But in the first one, you genuinely have emotion for him, and in Rambo First Blood Part 2 in Vietnam, you have emotion for him. I know it's a comic book movie, but he's going back, and they're righting a wrong which America never has managed to seal the deal on. Folks, that was the spoiler-free one. I'll be back later with spoilers. Great line in this. So, are we cool now? Fuck off. Hearing Rambo say, fuck off. Awesome.